Good vibes as always. Great and beautiful vibes, man. Thank you guys for tuning in once again to the Political Puff Podcast. Brother Push.
Yes, sir. Brother Fitz.
As always. We have a special guest and brother that's joining us today on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Brother True. Brother True, can you tell the people hello and tell them what's up?
How you guys doing today?
Brother Push, how you over there doing, my brother?
Oh, man. Ready for it. This is a pretty strong lesson right here. It's been an interesting time. I think that a lot of people talk about things that are hidden having to come out. So I think we're in those times where those hidden things are due to come out.
Exactly. Now today's topic is going to be one we're going to be really getting into something that most people probably haven't been thinking about. But the other day someone asked, is there anything good about the Bible that you guys talk about? You guys talk about anything good from the Bible.
Yeah.
And, talking amongst ourselves, let's see, is there anything good to talk about the Bible? So, if we want to talk about that, let's go to something before Genesis. And what's before Genesis is the title itself, Bible.
Yes.
So we're going to just go right there. We're going to go right to the cover. We ain't even opened it up yet.
Yeah.
We're going to go right to the cover.
I did want to say something. That person that asked us that, is there anything good that we can say about the Bible? Because a lot of our videos tend to go against the Bible. And it's not like we're against people. It's just, this is the result of finding the truth, is that it's not always positive. Mm-hmm. When we're looking at, and to truly say, is there any way of us being able to say something good about the Bible, it does start with the title. Like a cookbook, based off the title, cookbook, that there's recipes on the inside. So that there's going to be something tasty in there. But when you get to the word Bible, what do we know about that word that allows us to understand what's going to be on the inside of the book? Because if we knew what that word truly means, that would give us an answer right away. Is there anything good inside of this book? A cookbook, there's going to be recipes, there's going to be some good food in there. I'm asking, what is Bible?
What is this word?
What is this word? Exactly. Yeah, well, you know what? It is this piece right here, Navigating Through End Times 2. A piece written by a minister, actually. So we're just taking something out of this because it was very interesting. And he said something that was, in particular, that kind of stuck out. Two things that kind of stuck out. Because he tells what he feels Baal is. Baal. And this has everything to do with the title Bible. But we're going to look at what this guy wrote because it was interesting. And then we're going to parallel some things to that to see if this helps us understand what does Bible mean. So this Navigating Through End Times 2, and then it says Baal. This is something that you can easily find on the internet. We will leave all that in the description for you, so you can see this for yourself. But we wanted to read, I think it was 5 of the first lines, because I thought that those things kind of gave a very good understanding of what a Christian think Baal is. And this has everything to do with Bible. So we're going to read these 5 lines right here. So, Brother Fitz.
Jezebel worshipped Baal, and Leviathan works in connection with Baal powerfully. Baal is the Lord over religion / Antichrist, so the anti-revival, the anti-anointing, counterfeit. Baal is also named Baphomet, the goat of Mendes, Mammon, and Beelzebub. Baal is the male, and Ashtaroth, Jezebel, Venus, Kali, Astarte, Diana, is the female part known as the Queen of Heaven. And lastly, Baal oversees all perverse worship, including the sacrificial system of Satan.
So with this right here, basically, this minister just said what he feels Bel is. And Bel, when you listen to him, doesn't sound like anything that is necessarily like, nice or anything to the world. I mean, especially if he's the oversees the perverse worship, including the sacrificial system of Satan. So I wanted to say this piece. The minister also gave a list of names that he felt was Bel names. And there's female Bel names and male Bel names. And we're going to try to see if he had any validity with that. And some interesting parts has come out also inside of these names. So we're going to just read the male names first and just take a look at those parts. So let's go there.
Baal names: Sun God, Sol Invictus, Baal, Belial, Hubal, Hanuman, Nimrod, Apollo, Zeus, Marduk, Ahura Mazda, Osiris, Tammuz, Dagon, Prometheus, Jupiter, Mithra, Ra, Licetius, Dias, Dionysus, Hermes, Baphomet, Adonais, Pan, Hades, Eros, Uranus, Ashur, Merodach, Ninus, Shemaz, and Zuzbalus.
Now, I wanted you to look at this. Now, this is what a minister, he gave all these names out right here. But I wanted to show you something. We're going to look into the Bible on this name, Zeus. I wanted to show, because this has everything to do with what Bible means, that Zeus is actually in the Bible. So we're going to go into the Apocrypha, because they took a lot of books outside of the Bible. Inside the Apocrypha is where you can find Zeus being mentioned. So I just wanted to show, when we start to break down what does Bible mean, it has everything to do with what's on the inside. So we're trying to understand what does Bible mean. But I wanted to show that Zeus is in the Bible. So this is just a small piece. Brother Fitz, if you can tell them what page and line that is inside of it, because I know it's Maccabees.
So the second book of Maccabees,
Yes.
chapter 6, verse 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay. Not long after this, the king sent an Athenian senator to compel the Jews to forsake the laws of their ancestors and no longer to live by the laws of God. Also to pollute the temple in Jerusalem and to call it the temple of the Olympian Zeus, and to call the one in Jerusalem the temple of Zeus, the friend of strangers, as did the people who lived in that place.
So there is literally your Zeus. The Athenian, the king, sent senators down into the Middle East. This is like upper North Africa, and told those people that they had to praise Zeus. And to be honest with you, they ultimately succeeded, because we, if you're Christians, praise Zeus, because that name Jesus is Jesus, it's not Jesus. But nevertheless, it's showing you right here. I just wanted to show you that Zeus is in the Bible. And these are some of the names that this minister had given off. This is a Christian minister. This is what he think Bel is. And Zeus was one of those names mentioned along with other names. But I wanted to show that right there. So now we're going to look at his female names that he said, because one name really stands out of all of the female names. So we're going to do that part right there.
Ashura names: female counterpart: Moon and Sun Goddess, Mother Earth, Gaia, Mother of Hearts, Mother of God, Great Mother, Ashtaroth, Artemis, Aphrodite, Juno, Lilith, Minerva, Columbia, Nike, Astarte, Jezebel, Athena, Beltis, Diana, Isis, Horus, Anahita, Inanna, Ishtar, Mithra, Tanat, Bible, Marlita, Hathor, Kali, Semiramis, Andraste, Amaterasu, Omikami.
So the minister gave off a lot of female names of Baal. But one name inside of this pile that I wanted y'all to look at, and that's the name Bible. Bybele. That name right there stood out to me when I looked at this guy's paper. It stood out so heavy because that is the same name that is on the Bible itself. I know that the spelling is different, but that is the same name. So, if you can just look, the name Bible has many different spellings. Like, something you have to realize is that in order to understand where the Bible is coming from, you cannot find it in modern day English. You have to speak, or not even speak, but be able to just look into German. You have to look into French, Latin, Greek. You have to look at those names right there. You have to look into the 1200s. And then you will start to see the truth of the things that we praise modern day. So we're looking at this book right here. And Brother Fitz, I need you to tell me what you think about it when you look at this book, Parallel.
So I'm looking at the cover of this book, and it says Parallel, Bible, and then right next to it, Bible. So, I mean, if just the clue right there, parallel, number one, and they're putting both of the words right next to each other, telling you that they're pretty much the same word. So we see that Bible spelling on this book.
Only the E is missing.
Only the E is missing, that's it, right?
That's real.
Well,
So-
the Y and the I is kind of different,
Right?
Well, Bybele.
but it's still the same thing.
It's still the same thing.
You would still pronounce it the same way.
You know, it's Bible, Bible. It's still the same thing.
It's the same
So
thing.
the name that the guy is showing inside of his list of Bell names, Bybele, is the same name as Bybel and Bible. All three are Bible. And I'm sitting here saying, is the name of the most holiest book named after the mother goddess? Is it named after the harlot? Is it named after the mistress of Babylon? Is the Bible carrying the name of Baal, something that is dark nature as Satan? You know, this is the reason why when someone asks, is there anything good that you can say about the Bible? And I'm looking at that and I'm analyzing it. And I'm like, well, that starts with the title. But when you look at that, you read what Baal is, then you see the many names of Baal, and then you're trying to figure out how does that name end up on the most holiest of all books, you know? So it makes you wonder, it makes you think. As it stands for me, this is Bell's name on the book. But we wanted to prove that a little further, you know, because it's one thing to just say, well, I think this Bible right here is Bell's name, you know, all because I showed you a Bible. Well, we're going to go into literature. We're going to go into literature that actually says that Bible, Bybele, is the name of the book.
If you look at the cover of this book right here, it says Interlinear Bible. Okay? Greeks, Africans, New Testament. So again, showing that correlation and that consistency of the word Bible being spelled in that manner.
Yes.
And also the clue, the New Testament, but nonetheless, Bible being the name referred to as the Bible, and also Baal as well.
Yeah. So we want to read that part right here. It says right here, to the right, it says, the divinities to whom the ancients gave the weapons are Asclepius, Anubis, Apollo, Astarte, Bucius, Belena, Castor, Pollux, Crease, and then there's that word again,
By
Baal,
By Bel.
Diana, Janus, Isis, Juno, Jupiter, Lanus, Mars, Nemesis, Osiris, Pluto, Peppers, Serapius. If y'all
Serapius.
knew who that was.
That's a big one.
Sol, Venus, Vesta. It's coming back and it's saying that ancients or the divinities to whom the ancients gave this weapon are. And Bible comes up as one of the divinities. This book right here, the general and biographical, how do you say this word? Bibliographical dictionary of fine arts is literally telling you that Bible is a divinity name. It belongs to a spirit. It belongs to some mother goddess piece. That's the thing that we're trying to show you right there, is that that is not a new word right there. We're not looking at where does Bible come from. If we're going to talk about where does the title of the book, what does the title of the book mean? I mean, a cookbook, I would be able to say on the inside, there's recipes. So what does Bible mean? So if we're breaking down the name Bible, and you're starting to see that it's a name of Baal, and that it's a female name of Baal, and that it actually connects itself to the mother goddess and to the mother harlot, basically the mistress of Babylon. And then a person asked me, is there anything good about the book? Well, the title of it is connected to some of the most evil that you can connect yourself to. So we're going to go into the, the Bible Society's Scotland. Yes. And we're going to read here. We're not going to read this whole piece. It was in Old English. So you got to bear with some of the reading. But nevertheless, it says what it says. So, Brother Fitz.
John Gibson, upon the 13th day of Mage, the year of God, IMVC, fourscore 10 years, for printing of the Bible to wit the Old and New Testaments in our vulgar language, in our vulgar tongue.
In our vulgar tongue. Literally, this book has said, fourscore 10 years for the printing of the Bible, Bible, the same name that is considered the name of Baal, the same name that is considered the name of the mother goddess, Gia, the mother harlot, the mistress of Babylon. Bible is the name of the mother harlot. That's what the title of the book means. It's the name of the mother harlot. And it's always been that. It's just time progressed and now the spelling has went where it went. You know, I can't really help about what that spelling is, you know. But we wanted to look at one other piece because, you know, you can't just say that the Bible is the mistress of Babylon without showing that books recognize it as that right there. You know, when they're saying that, you know, you're drunk off the mistress of Babylon, her wine or her blood, you drunk off of it, you're drunk. It's the belief that one has in this Bible. That is what makes you drunk. And if you don't know that the title of this book is the name of the mother goddess, that is what make you drunk. Literally, they have the whole world praising the mother goddess, rather if you like it or not. Because you're going to hold the Bible in your hand And you're going to think that it says holy book, and the Bible does not mean holy book. So we're going to look at this other passage right here. Um, Again, I was saying some things are not always in English, and it has to be translated so you can see it. So this book that we found is called The Passage from German Authors from Unseen Translations. It was interesting what one of the things that it translated, like I was just scrolling through, but that Bible word came up again, spelled Bybele, and I'm always associating that now with some type of mother goddess deity. We're going to look at this, and it was like, I guess, the 13th line inside of these notes. We're going to leave definitely that book. Hopefully you can see this cover and everything. But we're going to read this main part. We can't read German. We're just reading what they deciphered. And it was just interesting.
So it says, Bybel, the goddess, Cybele, often represented wearing a headdress like the towers of a city.
That's awfully funny. Bible, the goddess Sybil, often represented wearing a headdress like a tower of a city. Bible. I just told you that Bible is the name of the mother goddess. Literally, this book right here, you can go and find this book. I'm showing it to you. If I can, I'm going to try to make sure the page number is there. But it is literally telling you Bible is the goddess Sybil. So again, the title of the book, the cookbook, a cookbook. We know that there's going to be recipes on the inside. But what does Bible mean? Because if you knew that Bible was the name of the mother goddess, or the name of the harlot, or the name of the mistress of Babylon, or even the name of Baal, I don't know if you would associate that book to being good. Again, someone asks us, do you say anything good about the Bible? And I'm looking at the title of this book, and I'm like, well, it's Baal's name.
Can you? Can you say anything good?
It doesn't look like you can.
What can I say? What can I say good if the title of the book is based off Baal? It's something that you have to be shown it. You have to see it, for your eyes and for yourself. That's the reason why we're kind of showing you all these books right here. And in a nutshell, we're saying that Bible is the name of the mother goddess.
Right.
But to be honest with you, go ahead, Brother Fitz.
No, I was going to say, anybody who says that, most of the little common term, basic instructions before leaving Earth, it does not mean that.
Yeah.
It does not mean that, folks. And this is another way of just showing you that, for all of you who do believe in that, in that myth. And then, just taking a closer look at the different names and the different variations of it is important. You do have to take note of that when you're looking at this word and you're looking at the word Bible. So
yeah, and like I said, that name has morphed, from Bybele to Bybel to the modern day version that we see right now. That is the name of the mother goddess. But I wanted to go a step further because I consider that to be the spiritual half of this conversation. The name Bible has a worldly half. And this is where things start to really get real. Because it's one thing for you to have a deity and the book be named after this deity. And it's another thing when the book is named after a family. That is something that we have to look at. So we want to look at this name Bible. We're showing it up. This is something you can type literally in your phone, Bybele. And if you type it in, you're going to see this crest. And the crest, it says the ancient arms of Bible. The ancient arm of Bible. Who would have thought that there was a family called Bible? Brother Fitz, did you know?
I didn't know. Nah, that's something I did know. So, and
Brother True, did you know?
Nah, especially not with a big old C in the middle of it.
no, well, and the thing is, what they're looking at. I mean, the word God being a German word, and then just so happens that the word Bible also
Yeah.
another German word. But I would have never known that there was a family that was connected to that name.
Yeah.
But also it doesn't surprise me that much, though, brother Push, being some of the things that we've talked about and that we've covered. So, in a way, but it is interesting to see that there is a family name, a whole family name, and a family crest behind that. So.
You know what's crazy? I wanted y'all to read what it says about the ancestral home of the Bible family. Right there.
The ancestral home of the Bible family is in the German province of Bavaria. Bible is a German nickname, surname. Such names came from echonames or added names that describe their initial bearer, through reference to a physical characteristic or other attribute. It is a name for a person who was known as hard-working or industrious. The distinguished name Bible is derived from the Old German word Beber, which meant beaver. In the Middle Ages, anthropomorphic ideas which attributed human qualities in form to gods or animals were popular. These associations were reflected in folk tales, mythology, and legends that portray animals behaving as humans. Bible is also a local type of surname, and there are numerous places named Bieber and Biberich in several localities in Germany.
So I wanted y'all to see that right there, that by the time you get to the end, this is literally telling you that these associations were reflected with folk tales, mythology, legends. Listen, Mother Goddess. Mother Goddess. It's connected to Baal. I mean, you started off reading about the family Bible, and by the time you get to the bottom of this right here, you done went into mythology. You done went, okay, that is what the title of the book is. How do you know that the title of this book ain't this actual family right there? Like, who is the Bible family? Like, what's the odds that there's a family out there called Bible? What was the odds that it was the Mother Goddess?
Especially when it was talking about that it came from a feudal society of the early European history. If you came from a feudal society and then all of a sudden you end up having great influence as distinguished branches and, in social, economic, political affairs, then how does that sound?
But like I said, it's something to just look at right there. It's something to look at. Something else we wanted to stare at is there's this part called Bible spelling variations. We wanted to look at some of these Bible variations. The various ways that you can say Bible or spell Bible. There are as many ways. Like I said, Bible, Bible, and then the normal Bible, Bible. They're all the same words. And when we look down here at spelling variations of the Bible,
again, this is an important part of what we were talking about before, just the different ways that it has been spelled. So we've got Bible include Bieber, Biber, Bibin, Bible, Bible, or Bible, Biber, Bibin, Bible, 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 Biber, Bieber, Bibin, Bible, Bible. I mean, and then I'll just keep going a little bit further. There's Biber, Bibin, Bible, Bible, Biber, Bibin, Bible. I mean, does it sound like there's a pattern there? I'm just asking. I mean, because it.
Who would have known that Bieber, like Justin Bieber's,
Justin Bieber, right?
You know,
Could be one of these people.
is Bible.
Right? No,
Do
literally.
you see what I'm saying?
Right? And he's all into the church and stuff like that even now.
Yes,
Like, so
surprisingly.
right.
You know, all I'm saying is your book is named after a mother goddess, quite possibly because, you know, this name right here is a name that dates back to the 1600s, you know, and if they published the Bible in 1611, I'm trying to understand this family name is a 1600 name, and this Bible is published in the 1611, like the King James version. How does this family name end up on the most holiest book? Or if you can't accept that, how does the mother goddess, the mistress of Babylon, Baal, end up on this most holiest book written? See, when that person asked, and I say it again, is there anything good that you can say about the Bible? How can I, when the title of the book is the name of a deity? How can I, if the title of the book is possibly the name of a family? The most holiest book can't bear a family name.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to say holy book. It's supposed to mean holy scroll. It's not supposed to have the name of a family, because then the point of the matter is when we grab the book, are we praising this family and you don't even know? Are you praising the Bible family and you don't even know? Like, you think you praising the holy book, and like, and maybe somewhere in history you like, I will never praise the Bible family. You know, maybe they were up in arms at them people at some point. I will never praise them, and I'll be darned. 400 years later, you praising Bible.
Right. You know, and so now. And then brother Push and brother Truth. One last point,
Yes.
One last piece right here we got is this is from an excerpt from The Costume of the Ancients by Thomas Hope. And as you look at this picture,
Yeah.
there's a picture of a female who is carrying a long staff. She appears to be carrying the moon, I believe.
Yeah.
But she's wearing a headdress, and that is in reference to the headdress of the Tower of a. What was the?
It said the Bible goddess Sybil, often represented wearing a headdress like the tower of a city.
Like the Tower of a city, and that's what we're looking at right here. But then if you look down at the bottom, the name is right there. It's Sybil, Cybele, however
Bible.
you want to say it. But as you can see, there's a correlation.
And it's that, and that name down there, that says Bible down there.
Right.
B-Y.
Right, and it is a mother goddess that you're looking at right
Yeah.
here, or a depiction of what they would consider a mother goddess.
And I'm saying, look at that spelling, y'all.
It's actually a B.
Yes. B-Y, not C-Y. B-Y. That's Bible. B-Y-B-E-L-E. You have to pay attention to that writing right there. In order for you to understand where the history of this book is going, you cannot look in the 21st century. You have to go to the 12th century. You have to go to Old English. You have to go to German language. You have to go to like Latin. You have to come out of our modern tongue and understand that we speak a dialect that is more corrected, you might say, than its original making, like the word old, O-L-D. In the 12th century, it was A-U-L-D. You know,
Yep. And
so old then and old now, but different ways of spelling it. And it's the same thing with that word Bible.
Right, and we just saw that in some of the things that we read, how that old, how it was spelled just like that.
Yes.
Old, and so you know that there's different variations of the same word that just comes from ancient texts, and that's one thing we try to show you is the consistency that. How long that consistency has lasted with that meaning,
Yes.
or with those various meanings, so that it didn't just mean that in 1 year, you know, of that, or one small period of that time. No, this was something that, even though the name might have changed, or the various variations of the spelling of that name, the meaning was always there.
Yes.
The consistency of the meaning was always there.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we always try to highlight. Is we try to show you the consistency in the things that we're trying to explain to you, that it's not just a one-time occurrence. We're not taking one small thing and like kicking and trying to elaborate something. Look at all the different variations and spellings that we just read. I literally sounded like I was repeating myself.
Yeah.
But it was like 12 different variations of the way it was spelled, Brother True. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it
But
was.
it's so it's like that's undeniable information. But again, we always just got to give you the information. Brother Push always says, we give it to you, but you got to look it up. So, Brother Push, anything you want to close on real quick, man?
Well, I just want to say that, again, when we're searching for the truth, we have to dig further than the 1800s. To really understand this Bible, you got to go into the 12th century minimum. And then you will start to see the things that, somehow they managed to make us praise. It seems like everything dark of the 12th century, we actually praise it in the year 2020. So hopefully we can all recognize this right here and maybe understand that, why everybody's looking for deep state dealing with Trump, that deep state has been happening for a long time and its hand is on this book right here. Y'all can't sit and think that the elite of the world, who you will openly admit has been around for at least a couple thousand years, didn't put their hand on this book right here and named it after themselves and named it after what they represent, which is Baal.
And Brother Push, thank you so much for that powerful statements. Brother True, anything you want to close on, man? Just thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate you coming through and giving us some of your input onto the mic, man.
I appreciate everybody for coming and listening to us here at this podcast, and that you guys check this information and actually use it to your benefit, and don't just take our word for it. Go and research it for yourself.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's real.
Thank you so much, Brother True, Brother Push. Again, thank you so much to all the subscribers, the people who comment, the people who come and visit our page. We really do appreciate all of the input, negative or positive. We will take it all. We just appreciate those who decide that they want to tune in, give us a shot and hear what we have to say.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much again for tuning in to the Political Puff podcast. We are out.
We are out.